Hello everyone. And Vidya. Okay, we will start today's session. So, our topic accounting concepts and partnership accounts are discussing. We start with accounting. So, what is accounting? Accounting is the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner. So, either recording, classifying, and summarizing in a single recording. The recording is the accounts. So now, one business day-to-day transactions, business transactions are correct record. That's the first accounting step. First recording the business those transactions recording. Then classifying. Classifying in the purchase, sales, different head to classify the summarize the total business. This is for per day. This weekly, monthly basis, then 2 months, 3 months, quarterly basis, half yearly basis. So summarize it. How they'll do this in a significant manner. Significant manner means in a very important way. In terms of money transactions, very important that accounting records only those transactions which are in terms of money. That paisa involved in the transactions matra account record which are in part of at least financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Idellam cheydalum our accounting nokumbo adannu results namukku interpret cheyan kazhayano. How do we call it as interpreting the results? Means when we look into the accounts of an organization, namukku oru quarterly basis, half yearly basis, allengi 1 year la nammal nokki kazhayal okay idana oru business inde position, ithrayana avരുടെ assets, ithrayana avരുടെ liabilities എന്നതു നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അതാണ് interpreting the results thereof. അതൊന്നും നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്നുണ്ടാച്ചാ okay ഇതാണ് ബിസിനസിന്റെ പൊസിഷൻ ഇത്രയുണ്ട്. So അത് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്നതായിരിക്കണം നമ്മൾ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So what is generally in very simple terms recording, classifying and summarizing which are of financial character, and we should be able to interpret the results. Hope it's clear. So that is accounting, art of recording, first recording, then classifying, summarizing in a significant manner in terms of money transaction events which are in financial character. It's very important. We should be able to interpret the results from what we are giving as information. In accounting, apart from this definition of accounting, it's very important. What are the concepts of accounting? Actually, concepts define the rules, how to record the transaction, on what basis the transactions are recorded. That is actually called as accounting concepts. It is a basis, rules and regulations which are to be followed while recording the transaction. Rules and regulations, transaction recording accounting concepts. So when we start with accounting concept, first one is, I hope you can see my screen. Yes. First, we'll start with business entity concept. It's a very important concept for accounting, because business entity means it assumes the business and the businessman as two separate entities. That business entity concept enda parayunnacha businessman businessum rendu vera. It's not one. Nammal vicharikkum businessman enne alle business odangunnathu appo adu engane adu vera ava nammal no. For accounting, business and the businessman are two separate entities according to this concept. This concept is that's why a businessman business invest investment capital, you know what it is. Capital means the money invested by an owner in the business. A capital business in the liability on a businessman so that is what this concept means. Business and the businessman are two separate entities. The concept of a business entity assumes that the business as a distinct and separate entity from its owners. Or as a distinct valare vyathyasam vere aitana ee concept of business name businessman name kana. It means the business and the owner are to be treated as separate entities. Example, what I stated, what I have given you, when a person brings in money as capital into his business, it is treated as liability of the business to the owner. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ദിവസം ആ amount business തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കണം businessman. That is why it is considered as liability. You know what is liability? Accounting, you know what is assets and liability. Assets means what the business owns. Liabilities means what the business owes. So തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും businessman invest ചെയ്യുന്ന money businessman തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കണം according to this concept. The accounting is made in the books of accounts from the point of view of business unit, not that of the owner. It means business in the point of view nana eppozhum books of accounts lo transactions record cheya orikkelum businessman the point of view nalla record cheynathu. Businessman ennu oru individual separate ana. Accounts endha nokka business ആണ് ബിസിനസ് പോയിന്റ് ഓഫ് വ്യൂ എന്നാണ് നോക്കുന്നത്. അത് കാരണമാണ് ബിസിനസ്മാൻ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ക്യാപിറ്റൽ ബിസിനസിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ലയബിലിറ്റി വിച്ച് ഹാസ് ടു ബി റിട്ടൺ ബാക്ക് ടു ദ ബിസിനസ്മാൻ ബിക്കോസ് അക്കൗണ്ട്സ് ഓൾവേസ് ട്രീറ്റ്സ് ഫ്രം ദ ബിസിനസ്മാൻ പോയിന്റ്സ് ഓഫ് വ്യൂ. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. If you need any more clarification, do let me know. Please ask me, or if you can put it in the chat box also, kindly let me know. I'll clarify you. So that is business entity concept. Treats business and the businessman as two separate entities. Moving on to next is money measurement concept. Already definition discuss very another important concept. Money measurement concept, it's a very important as it lays the foundation when we, means to record the transaction in the books of account. What does this concept means? This states that only transaction which can express in terms of money should be recorded in the books of accounts. അതായത് എന്ത് ബിസിനസ്സിൽ സംഭവിച്ചാലും നടന്നാലും അതിനെ മണിയിലൂടെ എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയണം. അത് മാത്രമേ നമ്മൾ ബുക്സ് ഓഫ് അക്കൗണ്ട്സിൽ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ. അതായത് ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊരു ബിസിനസ് സ്ഥാപനം നടത്താം. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ എമിനന്റ് PSC സെന്റർ തന്നെ എടുക്കാം. അപ്പൊ എമിനന്റ് PSC സെന്ററിൽ ഒരു കഴിഞ്ഞു പോയ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് വന്ന് പറയാണ്, സാർ യുവർ ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ ഈസ് ടു ഗുഡ്, വളരെ നല്ലതാണ്, ക്വാളിറ്റി സർവീസ്, ദാറ്റ് കനോട്ട് ബി റെക്കോർഡഡ് ഇൻ ദ ബുക്സ് ഓഫ് അക്കൗണ്ട്സ്. അത് ഒരിക്കലും ബുക്സ് ഓഫ് അക്കൗണ്ട്സിൽ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ബിക്കോസ് മണി മെഷർമെന്റ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് അക്കോർഡിംഗ് ടു ദിസ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് വാട്ട് ഇറ്റ് മീൻസ് വിച്ച് യു ക്യാൻ എക്സ്പ്രസ് ഇൻ ടേംസ് ഓഫ് മണി. ഒരാൾ വന്ന് പ്രൈസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അത് നമുക്ക് മണിയിൽ കൺവേർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി അത് മണിയിൽ എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്തൊരു ഇതാണ്. ബട്ട് അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം when a student pay fees, of course that can be expressed in terms of money. That will be recorded in the books of accounts. So the concept states only those transactions which are expressed in terms of money should be recorded. In either transaction ayalum adu money il namukku express cheyan pattunna maathre nammal books of accounts il record cheyu. A purchase or sale of goods. Another important aspect is that the records of the transaction are kept not only in the physical unit, not in the physical units, but in the monetary units. അതായത് നമ്മൾ physical units അല്ല റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുക ബുക്സ് ഓഫ് അക്കൗണ്ട്സ്, ഓൾവേസ് മോണിറ്ററി യൂണിറ്റ്സിലാണ് റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുക. 30 യൂണിറ്റ്സ് നമ്മൾ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യില്ല. ഒരു ഇതിലെ എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത് 30 പേഴ്സണൽ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടേഴ്സ് ആ പർച്ചേസ് ഫോർ 15 lakhs. അപ്പോൾ 30 ഉള്ളത് നമ്മൾ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യില്ല, പക്ഷെ 15 lakhs എന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുക. സോ ഫിസിക്കൽ യൂണിറ്റ്സ് അല്ല നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, മോണിറ്ററി യൂണിറ്റ് ആണ് റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. And very important, only which can be expressed in terms of money are recorded in the books of accounts. Next is going concern concept. So going concern means it's very simple. Nammalipo our business start cheyidalum what will be their intention? എന്തായിരിക്കും അവരുടെ മനസ്സിലുള്ള ഉദ്ദേശം? ഒരു ബിസിനസ് തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ obviously പ്രോഫിറ്റ്, നമുക്ക് ലാഭം ഉണ്ടാവണം, പിന്നെ നല്ല പേര് പബ്ലിക്കിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ബിസിനസ് സ്ഥാപനത്തിന് കിട്ടണം, നല്ല ക്രെഡിബിലിറ്റി വരണം, കുറെ പേര് അറിയണം, നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് വലുതാവണം. ഇതിന്റെ ഒപ്പം വേറൊരു ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആയ ഒരു ഇന്റൻഷൻ കൂടെ ഒരു ബിസിനസ്മാൻ ഉണ്ടാവും ഒരു ബിസിനസ് തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ. അത് എല്ലാവരും മേ ബി ഉള്ളിലുണ്ടാവും, അത് പറയുന്ന പോലെയോ, പക്ഷെ ഉണ്ടാവും. Whoever starts a business, ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ തുടങ്ങുകയാണെങ്കിലും ഞാൻ തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ വിചാരിക്കും എന്റെ സ്ഥാപനം കുറെ കൊല്ലം നല്ല രീതിയിൽ എനിക്ക് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ കഴിയണം. റൈറ്റ്, ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ബി എനിബഡീസ് ഇന്റൻഷൻ. തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ലാഭത്തിന് പുറമെ അതായിരിക്കും അടുത്ത ഇന്റൻഷൻ. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദിസ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഇസ് all based on നമ്മൾ കുറെ കൊല്ലം നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ബിസിനസിനെ കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ സാധിക്കും കഴിയണം എന്ന് അസ്യൂം ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് ഈ concept. This concept assumes that the business would carry out its operation for a fairly long period of time and would not be liquidated in the near future. അതായത് ഈ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് അസ്യൂം ചെയ്യുന്നത് വെച്ചാൽ ബിസിനസ് കുറെ കാലം കൊണ്ട് നടത്താൻ പറ്റും. ഇൻ ദ നിയർ ഫ്യൂച്ചർ അടുത്തൊന്നും അത് അടച്ചു പൂട്ടേണ്ടി വരില്ല. അതാണ് ഈ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് അസ്യൂം ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതായിരിക്കും ഏതൊരു ബിസിനസ്മാനും അവർ ബിസിനസ് തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ലാഭം മീൻസ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ്, അപ്പാർട്ട് ഫ്രം പ്രോഫിറ്റ് വാട്ട് വുഡ് ദേ എയിം അറ്റ് ഓർ വാട്ട് വുഡ് ദേ തിങ്ക് ഇസ് ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഷുഡ് ബി ഏബിൾ ടു ക്യാരി ഔട്ട് ദിസ് ബിസിനസ് ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ഫോർ എ ലോങ് പീരീഡ് ഓഫ്. Right. That is what this concept is based on. When we think like that, this is what this concept means. When we think that I will be able to carry out a business operation for a long period of time, we are assuming it is going concern concept. Therefore, when we purchase an asset, the entire cost of the asset should not charge from the profit of the year in which the asset was purchased, but it should be equally divided over the years during which the asset is used. Usually, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം ഒരു സ്ഥാപനത്തിൽ അസറ്റ് പർച്ചേസ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അത് ആ ഒരു വർഷത്തെ പ്രോഫിറ്റ് തന്നെ ഫുള്ളായി ചാർജ് ചെയ്യില്ല. ഈക്വലി അതിന്റെ ലൈഫിനെ ഈക്വലി ഡിസ്ട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യും. Suppose the example is given, what is given here, a machine cost 5 lakh was purchased and its useful life are 5 years. So 1 lakh, that is 5 lakh divided by 5, should be charged every year for 5 years. അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ചാർജ് ചെയ്യുക. 5 lakh പറഞ്ഞാൽ 5 lakh നമ്മൾ ഒറ്റ ഇയർ പ്രോഫിറ്റിൽ എഴുതി തരില്ല. കാരണം നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ ബിസിനസ് കുറെ കാലങ്ങൾ പോവും. സോ എത്ര ലൈഫാണോ നമ്മൾ അതിനെ എസ്റ്റിമേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഈക്വലി ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ അതിനെ ചാർജ് ചെയ്യുക. ഈവൻ ഡെപ്രിസിയേഷൻ അത് കാരണമാണ് നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ ഓവർ ദ പീരീഡ് ഓഫ് ടൈം calculate ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. You know what is depreciation? നമ്മൾ ഫിക്സ്ഡ് അസറ്റ് tangible assetsന് കൊടുക്കുന്നതാണ് depreciation. നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ depreciation in accounting term, depreciation means refers to the reduce in the value of the asset over the period of time because of the usage. നമ്മൾ ഒരു അസറ്റ് over the period യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ obviously അതിന്റെ value reduce ആവും. To be very precise and simple, നമ്മുടെ gadget, what we have right in front of us, the laptop, even when you are logging through mobile, തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമ്മൾ ഒരു മൊബൈൽ വാങ്ങിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ വാങ്ങിക്കുന്ന പ്രൈസ് ആയിരിക്കില്ല ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇയർ. മീൻസ് അതിന്റെ വാല്യൂ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇയർ ഓബ്വിയസ്ലി ഡിക്രീസ് ആവും. കാരണം നമ്മൾ ഡെപ്രിസിയേഷൻ പറയുന്നത് എന്താ, വാല്യൂ ഓഫ് ദ അസറ്റ് ഡിക്രീസസ് ഓവർ ദ പീരീഡ് ഓഫ് ടൈം ബൈ ദ യൂസേജ്. നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അതിന്റെ വാല്യൂ ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. അക്കോർഡിംഗ് ദിസ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്, ഈ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് എന്താ അസ്യൂം ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അത് കാരണമാണ് ഒരു അസറ്റ് ബിസിനസ്സിലേക്ക് വാങ്ങിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആ അസറ്റിനെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇയർ തന്നെ ഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് ചാർജ് ചെയ്യില്ല. പീരീഡ് ആയിട്ട് അവർ ഡിസ്ട്രിബ്യൂട്ട്, നമ്മൾ ബിസിനസ്മാൻ ഡിസ്ട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് അതിനെ ചെയ്യുക. ബിക്കോസ് ഹി അസ്യൂംസ് ദാറ്റ് ഹിസ് ബിസിനസ് വിൽ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ഫോർ എ ലോങ് പീരീഡ് ഓഫ് ടൈം. Clear? Just give me a thumbs up. If it is okay, we'll move ahead. Okay, I think I got a message. Yes, I got a thumbs up. Now, next is accounting period concept. So, നമ്മൾ എത്രയും പറയുന്നത് books of accounts record ചെയ്യും, books of accounts. So, what is this books of accounts actually? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഏത് ടൈം ഡ്യൂറേഷൻ ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ books of accounts record ചെയ്യുന്നത്? Usually, most organizations, the accounting period means interval, it will be period of 1 year. Very rarely, sometimes interim 6 months business. It depends on the situation, it changes, but usually normal circumstances, it is the books of accounts is prepared for 1 year duration. Either it can be from 1st Jan to 31st December, or from 1st April to 31st March, or sometimes if you go for Western countries, most of the time they will follow this one, that is from 1st July to 30th June. So whatever the period, the either duration or books of accounts preparing, that accounting period refers to the span of time at the end of which the financial statements of an enterprise are prepared. But either period, what is the span of time for which we are preparing the financial statement? Financial statement the profit and loss, the trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So P&L account and balance sheet to prepare. Either time period prepare a span of time. Accounting period concept എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Hope it's clear. That is, അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് 1st January to 31st December ആണ് നമ്മൾ P&L അക്കൗണ്ട് ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ അക്കൗണ്ടിംഗ് പീരീഡ്. സോ അക്കൗണ്ടിംഗ് പീരീഡ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് മീൻസ് refers to the span of time at the end of which the financial statements are prepared. The financial statements are to be prepared at regular intervals, normally after a period of 1 year. As I stated beginning itself, usually most of the organization will prepare every year. Most of you are already into business, maybe working for an organization. So you know financial statement usually prepared at the end of every year. Usually friends year ending so year ending means usually year end, March last India, most of things were March end. 1st April to March end is the accounting period followed. So year end downward, they will prepare the financial statements. The interval of time is called the accounting period. Interval, the time period, the accounting period. For sole proprietorship and partnership firms, period can be decided by the accordingly. So sole proprietorship you might have heard business business sole proprietorship one person. Partnership depends upon certain companies numbers restrictions. So partnership firms decide accounts preparing. They can decide from 1st Jan to 31st December. It's up to them. So sole proprietor and partnership, they can decide accordingly. It can be decided by them when they want to prepare the financial statement. The period in which they are preparing, that is called as accounting period concept. It's clear? Yes. Yeah, I'm moving forward. Next is a dual aspect concept. Very, very important. Day to day, either business organization, the accounting is fully based on this concept. Either a dual aspect. Dual means two. This concept states that every transaction has a dual or twofold effect, and it should be recorded at two places. Either in the transaction business effect. That's concept. As I said, accounting is entirely based on this concept. It will be recorded at two places. It will affect to a minimum two accounts. It will be sorry. Okay. So it will be recorded at two places and it will have twofold effect. A small example: purchase of goods will increase the stock, reduce the cash. Obviously, if we business purchase furniture purchase business furniture at the same time cash reduce. So the transaction have two effect. Sorry, two effect is there. And same if you take capital. Capital brought in by partner. Or partner business cash invested obviously cash increase out. But at the same time, liability will increase out. Business accounts always see from the business point of view, not from the business. When cash increase in the liabilities will increase out. So that also gives two effects. Purchase purchase cash we'll take it as a credit transaction. Then what will be the two effects? Purchase furniture for credit. Furniture increase side. That is one effect. What will be the other effect? The creditors will increase out. Creditors means to whom we have to pay. When we are buying something on credit, we have to pay back. So at the same time, creditors will also increase. That is the effect. So twofold effect. Every transaction. Goods sell. Credit na sell, cash na sell, cash goods right? Goods credit na sell. If you are selling goods on credit, what will happen? Obviously, stock decreases, goods decreases. What will increase? Debtors will increase. Correct? If we sell goods on credit, debtors will increase. So who are debtors? Those who have to pay to the business. Business na cash debtors. So debtors will increase, goods will reduce. So like these are few examples. Like this, for each and every transaction, minimum two places it will affect. That is dual aspect concept. Dual aspect concept. So this can be explained in terms of an accounting equation that is called as assets equal to liabilities plus capital. So assets equal always will be equal to liabilities plus capital. And example best, that is when the businessman brings money to the business, cash increases. Obviously, cash is an asset. At the same time, what happens? Liability also increases. So assets equal to liability. Always assets equal to liabilities plus capital. That is the basic of this basis of this concept, and the entire accounting is based on this concept. Every transaction have twofold effect. I hope it's very clear. Yes, okay, I'm getting chat boxes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you, thank you. All right, next is full disclosure concept. Say full disclosure concept, when most of the time when you read, or when I say what is a concept, you'll understand from the words itself what it is meant. So full disclosure concept. Full disclosure means all which is very important or relevant should be disclosed in the financial statement. See, that is what this concept states, that all the relevant facts concerning the financial performance of an enterprise must be fully and completely disclosed in the financial statements and the accompanying footnotes. So all the relevant facts concerning financial what to say, financial performance affect another enterprise and organization financial performance affect in all facts, all the relevant facts concerning the financial performance of an enterprise must be fully full item, complete item disclosed in a financial statement according to this concept. When you ask, ma'am, do every business does that like that? There will be no answer for that. According to this concept, that has to be done by the business. So as I stated in the beginning, before starting this concept, accounting concepts are certain set of rules and regulations which has to be followed. So when full disclosure concept means the business should disclose all the relevant facts concerning the financial performance of an enterprise must be fully and completely disclosed. It is very important that the financial statements make a full, fair, and adequate disclosure of all the information which is relevant for making financial decision. Of course, this is also very important because the financial statement should be should make a full, fair, and adequate disclosure of all the information. For this organization or enterprise, our financial information disclose maybe in the form of balance sheet, profit and loss account. They have to make sure that including all the important information, all the information which is relevant to make financial decisions are included. Karanam, financial statements are preparing financial statement decisions means the people who are running the business, the people who are in the top positions have to make so many financial decisions. So all those information has to be included in the financial statements according to this concept, that is full disclosure concept. Next is consistency concept. So consistency concept means consistency means what the procedures or policies they are following should be consistent, means same uniform over a period of time. They should not change it very frequently. Then it's become very difficult to draw conclusions. This concept states that accounting policies and practices followed by an enterprises are uniform and consistent over a period of time. Means over a period of time doesn't mean that for 1 year or 2 years. Means over a period of time, there has to be consistency in their the way they prepare their accounting, the policies that they are following, practices that followed by an enterprise should be uniform and consistent for a period of time. What is the reason behind is that the accounting information provided by the financial statements would be useful in drawing conclusions regarding the working of an enterprise only when it allows comparisons over a period of time, as well as with the working of other enterprises. See what it means. I'll explain to you in very simple terms. Why do we need to be consistent? Why the organization has to be consistent and uniform while preparing their financial statement is, then only it will help them to draw conclusions. For example, they prepared financial statement for this year and previous year. So when they compare with these two, they should be able to draw conclusions from that. What type of conclusions? Okay, last year our sales is this much. Our sales growth is 20%. When compared to last year, this year our sales growth is 22%. So the drawing conclusion should be possible. That is why the policies and practices, what they are following, should be consistent over a period of time. It's very important. Then only it allows them to draw a conclusion, at the same time to compare also with their previous performances. That is what I said. Last year, this year, okay, last to last year, this was our performance. So it should be uniform to compare. Next is concept of conservatism or prudence. Now this we usually call it as prudence concept. See, this concept is a little tricky, you can say. That is, according to this concept, the business adopts a safe policy in accounts for all future losses, but it leaves aside all the future profits. Future loss in assume leader, to reduce the burden of law, they will have some provisions, they will have safe policies, but they will keep aside the future profits. So future losses, that burden is reducing, and the business adopts a safe policy. I'll explain you with an example, don't worry. So that is called as conservatism, concept of conservatism or prudence. It simply means business adopts safe policy in accounts for all future losses, but it keeps aside the future profits. It is done to avoid unforeseen losses and uncertainties. Obviously, pradishikkyada varuna nashtangalum sahacharyalum means to overcome. This policy is adopted by the business organization. They will adopt this concept to reduce the burden of loss. You know what is loss? Loss usually is an unwanted burden the business has to bear. Either business loss or it's an unwanted burden. Every business tries to avoid. Strive hard so that they will not incur losses. So in most of the business organizations or companies, what they do, they'll have some safe policies in their books of accounts to reduce their, to have policies for the losses, and they'll keep aside their profit. Why do they do this? To avoid unforeseen losses and uncertainties. The example is given is a provision for bad debts is prepared so that future bad debts can be accounted for. I'll explain you what it is. Dual aspect concept explain. When we sold goods on credit, we will have debtors. Correct. So who are debtors? Those who have to pay to the business. They are debtors. Now, in debtors, what happens if the business has to receive money from 10 people, just an example, 10 people, altogether the business has to receive 1,75,000. Or 25,000, where 50,000, where 5,000. And 10 business 1,75,000 rupees. That is their debtors, they have to give. But what happens? Always there is an element of risk in that. Namukku oru business സ്ഥാപനത്തിൽ ഒരിക്കലും ഉറപ്പിച്ച് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല ഓക്കെ 10 പേരും ഈ സമയത്ത് തന്നെ തരും, തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും തന്നിരിക്കും. They think, but still they will have a concern. There is an element of risk in that, as to get the money back from the debtors. For that, what they'll do, this is what they do exactly. What they'll do, they'll create a provision for bad debts. Accounting permits, which can be done. Accounting policies permits that. So concept of conservatism, that is what it allows the businessman to create a provision for bad debts. The provision means he's assumed that he may not get a part of that what he has to receive. Suppose he has to get 1,75,000. So businessman, after analyzing the situation, market, his conditions, his debtors condition, he'll be knowing, right? He will be interacting with them. So he's thinking, okay, I have the chance of not getting 10% of what I have to get. So 10% of 1,75,000. So that is called as provision for bad debts. So he'll create. So to that extent, he's already prepared. The business is already prepared. Okay, that amount. See, you don't think no, that is accounting is not like that. That's why I said accounting sees from the business point of view. So to have a safe measure, he will create a provision. If you think what will happen if he pays, then well and good. Then this will be that accounting treatment will be done accordingly. But he will have a provision. Okay, this provision I will create so that accordingly his profit also will be reducing in the books of account. So, okay, he is prepared for that. What happens when he is prepared? That unforeseen losses, he is expecting, okay, this is what will happen. So that is what is all about concept of conservatism. That is prudence concept. Adopting a safe policy for future losses, but keeping the profits aside. So that is concept of conservatism or prudence. So these are the few concepts that we looked into. We'll just have a very fast brush up. We started with business entity concept, which assumes business and the businessman as two separate entities. Then we move on to money measurement concept, which records only those transactions which can be measured in terms of money. Going concern assumes that business will carry out for a long period of time. Accounting period of concept, the span for which the financial statements are prepared. Dual aspect, very important. Every transaction, all the transactions in the business have two effects. That is two accounts, minimum two accounts it will affect. It is based on the equation that accounts assets equal to liabilities plus capital. Then we discussed full disclosure. All the relevant facts which affects the financial performance of an enterprise must be fully and completely disclosed. Then we move consistency. Uniform, the policies and practices should be uniform over a period of time. Then concept of conservatism or prudence. Business adopts safe policies for future losses, keeping all the future profits aside. Yes. Next is basis of accounting. Another very important, terms or aspects in accounting, basis of accounting, cash basis, accrual basis. There are two bases, that is cash basis, accrual basis. Cash basis usually means the term itself implies what it is. According to this basis, expenses and revenue are said to be recognized or happen only when the money is paid in cash or when it is actually received. Either cash pays, when the cash is received, then only they think the transaction is happened. The expenses or revenue is realized only when they receive the cash, not when the transaction is happened. അതായത് ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മളൊരു ഞാൻ പോയി ഒരു കടയിൽ സാധനം വാങ്ങിച്ചു, ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ബേസിസിൽ സാധനം വാങ്ങിച്ചു. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ബേസിസ്, നോട്ട് ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസ്. സോ ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസ് എന്താ, ഞാൻ എന്നാണോ അത് പേ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അന്നാണ് ആ ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ ഹാപ്പനിങ് ഓർ റെക്കഗ്നൈസ് ആയി ആ ട്രാൻസാക്ഷനെ ബുക്സ് ഓഫ് അക്കൗണ്ട്സിൽ accepted, will be recognized. That is cash basis, when it is paid in cash or when it is received. That is cash basis. Accrual basis means it's recognized when they occur, not when the payment is actually received. Same example. If I go to a സ്ഥാപനത്തിൽ പോയിട്ട് better example. ഈ അയൺ ബോക്സ് ഞാൻ ഒരു കടയിൽ പോയിട്ട് ക്രെഡിറ്റിന് വാങ്ങിച്ചു. സോ ക്രെഡിറ്റിന് വെച്ച അക്രൂവൽ ബേസിസിൽ ഞാനത് വാങ്ങിച്ച ഉടനെ, അതായത് അത് സംഭവിച്ച ഉടനെ അത് accepted on accounts. When they follow accrual basis, that is this concept, the expenses and revenue are recognized when they occur. എപ്പോഴാണോ അത് ഞാൻ വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നത് അപ്പോ അത് റെക്കഗ്നൈസ് ചെയ്ത പോലെയാണ് ബുക്സ് ഓഫ് അക്കൗണ്ട്സിൽ കാണിക്കുക. ബട്ട് വാട്ട് ഇസ് ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസ്? അയൺ ബോക്സ് ഞാൻ വാങ്ങിച്ചാൽ പക്ഷെ ഞാനത് പേ ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴേ അതിനെ റെക്കഗ്നൈസ് ചെയ്യും. That is the difference between cash basis and the accrual basis. Cash only when the cash is paid or received. Accrual when it is occur, not actually when the payment is received or when it is paid. That is a different. Cash basis കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഒരു ഈസി ആയ ഒരു ഇതാണ്, ബിക്കോസ് അഡ്ജസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ്സ് ഒന്നും ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. കൊടുക്കുക, വാങ്ങാം, അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. പൈസ കൊടുക്കുക, സാധനം. But at the same time, accrual basis will involve certain kind of adjustments. Suppose നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ ഇങ്ങനെ വാങ്ങിക്കുമ്പോൾ no cost EMI ഉണ്ട്, but EMI pay ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ so there will be some calculation. Okay, 3 months-ലാണ് പേ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് മന്ത്സ് ഇത്ര പേ ചെയ്യണം, then balance എത്രയാണ്. So it involves certain adjustments. Accrual basis. ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ്, accrual basis കുറച്ചും കൂടെ റിലയബിൾ ആണ്, ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ്സ് ഈവൻ ക്യാഷ് ആൻഡ് ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസ് എല്ലാം റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യും. പക്ഷെ ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസിൽ എന്താ, ഓൺലി ക്യാഷ് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസ് മാത്രമേ അവിടെ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യാറുള്ളൂ. യൂഷ്വലി സ്മോൾ ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ ഓർ നോൺ പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻസ് ഒക്കെയാണ് ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസ് പ്രിഫർ ചെയ്യുക. മീൻസ് അവർക്ക്
ഒരു ഡൗട്ട്
പ്ലീസ്.
നമ്മൾ ഈ ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസിൽ നമുക്ക് ക്യാഷ് ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, അതുപോലെ നമുക്കിപ്പം അക്കൗണ്ടിലേക്ക് ഡിജിറ്റൽ മണി ആയിട്ട് വരുമല്ലോ, അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് അതിനും ഈ ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസിലല്ലേ കൂടി?
ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് അതാ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. നമ്മൾ റിസീവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ആ ക്യാഷ് എന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് അക്കൗണ്ടിലായിട്ടോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചെക്കായിട്ടോ. ഇപ്പൊ ചെക്ക് ബൗൺസ് ആയി നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു ചോദിച്ചാൽ അതൊരു വേറെ ഇതാണ്. പക്ഷെ ക്യാഷ് ബേസ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ സംതിങ് വി റിസീവ് ഇൻ ഹാൻഡ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി ഗുഡ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആക്ച്വലി. നമ്മുടെ അക്കൗണ്ടിലേക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ ജിപേ ആണല്ലോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, ജിപേ, പേടിഎം ആണല്ലോ. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും വൺസ് ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് റിസീവ് ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ടേക്കൺ ഇൻ ടു അക്കൗണ്ട്. അപ്പം സോ ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസ് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ചെറിയ സ്ഥാപനം, സ്മോൾ ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ, നോൺ പ്രോഫിറ്റ്, അതായത് ക്ലബ്സ്, സൊസൈറ്റി, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താ പറയാ പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ആയിട്ട് സർവീസ് കൊടുക്കുന്നവര്, വലിയ രീതിയിലല്ല, അവരാണ് ഈ ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസ് പ്രിഫർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ. നമ്മൾ ഒരു കുഞ്ഞു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയുന്നത് ഡോക്ടേഴ്സ് അടുത്ത് നമ്മൾ പോയി ചെക്കപ്പ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഡോക്ടർ ഞാൻ 10 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞ് പൈസ തരാൻ പറഞ്ഞാൽ യൂഷ്വലി ദേ ഡോണ്ട് അഗ്രി, ദേ ഡോണ്ട് ഹാവ് ദാറ്റ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ബിസിനസ്. പ്രൊഫഷണൽസ് യൂഷ്വലി അവരുടെ വാട്ട് വിൽ ബി ദെയർ ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസ് അബൌട്ട് നമ്മൾ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യുക, കാശ് കൊടുക്കുക, അതാണ്. സോ ദേ പ്രിഫർ ദ ക്യാഷ് ബേസിസ്. But the organization which is a more of profit basis, which involves more transaction, other accrual basis of accounting ആണ് prefer ചെയ്യുക, which includes both cash and credit transaction. Next is this is all about the concepts of accounting, basis of accounting. Next our topic is partnership. What are the rules regarding partnership and all we will discuss. So as you don't have any doubts in this, I am moving ahead. Partnership. So partnership, partnership, definition of partnership. Partnership is a relationship between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any one of them. So partnership, it is a relationship between people or persons. They agree to share their profits of a business. Either അതെങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും, ഒരാളായിരിക്കും എല്ലാരും കൂടെ കൊണ്ടു നടത്തുന്നതായിരിക്കും, or one will act on behalf of all, carried on by all or any one of them. That depends upon the business they are carrying on. So that is partnership. So what is partnership actually? Persons who have entered into a partnership with one another, individually are called partners. Between two persons, so they are called as partners. Avareyana partners ennu vilikka, who have entered into a partnership with one another individually are called partners. What is firm? നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും ഞാൻ കുറെ പ്രാവശ്യം പറഞ്ഞു ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ, എന്റർപ്രൈസ്, firm. So what is firm? Persons who have entered into a partnership with one another collectively, അവരെയാണ് നമ്മൾ firm എന്ന് വിളിക്കുക. We together call them as firm. So when they are running a business, they together called as firm. Partnership, firm. Partners, partnership, firm. With one another collectively are called a firm. So these are the very important things concerning with partnership. Then the another very, very important is partnership deed. Deed means written agreement. The document containing the agreement in writing among partners is called a partnership deed. എന്തെങ്കിലും അവര് തമ്മിലുള്ള ധാരണ, what they have agreed to, what they have decided to, okay, I will carry out the business, you are a silent partner or you are just contributing it, I will look after the business, for that you have to pay this much salary. So what all they are deciding, which is in writing, when it is written, അത് എഴുതി ഒരു എന്താ പറയാ ഒരു ഡോക്യുമെന്റിൽ എഴുതി അത് ചെയ്താൽ, when it is written, that is called as partnership deed among the partners. Partners എല്ലാവരും കൂടെ ഒരുമിച്ച് document containing the agreement, അവർ തമ്മിലുള്ള agreement, Okay, this is how we will carry out. You will look after the business. So you will be paid this much. As I contributed this much capital, I should get this much interest. So all those will be all the what is their choices, what they want, all things when they agree together and they when put it in writing, that is called a partnership deed. That is document containing the agreement in writing among partners is called a partnership deed. Next, why do we need a written agreement? Partnership okay. They have decided by word that okay, you will get salary, I will get like that, I will get like this. It goes on like that. But when things go south, or you say when something goes wrong, what do you call? Obviously, there will be an argument if they don't have anything in writing. It happens. To be very, put it in very nice, with nice example, how can I say this? See, four partners are there. In that one person, A, B, C, D. Okay, so B, C, and D are telling A, you take care of the business. As you are taking care of the business, you will be given 50,000 salary plus 5% share in profit. Okay, that is what they are agreeing. So everybody agreed. They are just simply telling they are agreeing and they carry out the business. What happened at the end of the month or whatever the period they have decided, they don't have enough profit. Means when they give 50,000 salary to A, after that, they don't have much to share between them. So obviously what the other partners say, okay, A, now we don't have enough profit. So what we will do, we will divide the profit equally. So obviously A will not agree to that because he was taking care of the business. So as they don't have anything in writing. So writing is very, very in written is very, very important. That is the importance of partnership deed because it defines the relationship among the partners. So what kind of relationship, who is taking care, who is the main person who is involving, or how many are contributing, all those things will be given in the deed. It is important to have a partnership deed in writing to avoid and settle disputes. That is what I said. In writing, means what to say, okay, we can say that. See, if it is in writing in the previous example, what I stated, A can say, see, you can't deny it because it is there in the writing that you will be giving me 50,000 salary per month and you will be giving me 5% share in the profit. So it's very easy to settle the disputes. So, and of course, it is good evidence in the court in case if they want to proceed, any legal issues comes up. What happens? Writing always gives evidence to the people. So it's very, very important that is the importance of partnership deed, that it defines the relationship. It helps to avoid and settle disputes, and it is good evidence in the court. So that is the importance of partnership deed. Partnership deed means a written document. Now, this is absence of partnership. This is according to Indian Partnership Act. According to Indian Partnership Act 1932, what are the legal provisions is there when there is no partnership deed? See, you will get 50,000 salary and 5% share in the profit, so and so, everything. But they don't have anything in writing. So there is no partnership deed. In absence of partnership deed, these are very, very important. First thing, when you are getting means MCQ, you will get in the absence of partnership deed, what is the profit sharing ratio will be between the partner. So always when there is no partnership deed, the profit and losses will be shared equally. Let's say 5% there are no 5% and all. Whatever they are getting, it will be distributed equally among the partners. So profit or losses will be shared equally. That is the first thing. And no interest in the capital. When partners are investing, there will be no interest in the capital if there is no partnership deed, or the partnership deed is silent. Silent means there is no partnership deed. So when there is no partnership deed, no interest in the capital. no interest in drawings. Drawings means, I think you know, but I'll say again, no problem. Interest in drawings means when the partner withdraw money from the business for his personal use. When he withdraws money from the business for his personal use, that is called as drawing. So when there is no partnership deed, obviously there will be no interest on drawings also, even if you withdraw. Then another important thing is interest on partner's loan at 6% payable even in losses. It's very, very important. Suppose apart from capital, and and friends business, so we are starting a business. I have introduced a capital of 1 lakh, my friends also. After 1 or 2 months, means the business needs little more money. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, I'm not increasing my capital. Rather than I'm ready to give as loan to the business. I'm giving as loan. So interest to partners loan kind of business. So what happens when there is no partnership deed? He is entitled to get 6% of 6% interest he is entitled to get according to Indian Partnership Act 1932. He'll get 6% of interest, which is, even if it is losses, it will be paid to the partners, because interest on partners loan is a charge against profit, not an appropriation of profit. Charge against profit means first that will be given, it will be deducted from the profit, then only the remaining will be distributed to the partners. So that is another very important thing. Even though there is no partnership deed, when the partner gives loan, advances loan to the firm, he'll get 6% interest for. Then, of course, there is no remuneration, no commission or salary will be paid to the partners. So, BCD would have okay, 50,000 salary there. No, when there is no partnership deed, no remuneration, no commission, no salary to the partners. So these are very important provisions when there is no partnership deed, or in the absence of a partnership deed, or when the partnership deed is silent. The first thing, profit sharing will be equal. They'll share whatever they are getting, how many partners, it will be equally distributed among the partners. Second, no interest in the capital. No interest in drawings will be given to the will be charged. No interest on capital will be provided. Interest on, when the partner advances loan to the firm, 6% interest will be payable even when there is losses, and there is no remuneration, commission or salary is payable to the partners. These are the provisions in the absence of a partnership deed according to Indian Partnership Act 1930. Partners capital account. So we usually two types of capital is there, that is fixed capital, fluctuating capital. Fixed capital, the term itself, fixed, the capital remains unchanged unless additional capital is introduced and withdrawn from the existing capital. Okay, either additional capital business introduce here, okay, this is more, so I'm withdrawing a part of from capital. Let my capital be this. So when they withdraw, then only the fixed capital will change, or else it will remain same. It remains unchanged unless additional capital is introduced or withdrawn from the existing capital. If it is partners capital, if it is fixed capital is followed, we'll prepare two accounts, capital accounts, current accounts. Both is prepared when the capital is fixed capital. Okay, you might be thinking, how will we know whether it is fixed capital or that I'll come into it. So when it is fixed capital, two accounts are prepared, that is capital account and current account. When it is fluctuating, the term itself keeps fluctuating, the capital keeps changing hereafter. Here it keeps on changing. So only one account is prepared, that is partners capital account. Now, coming back, how do we know whether it is fixed capital? Usually, if it is fixed capital, it will be mentioned in the question. That is, A, B, and C are partners. Their fixed capitals are so respectively. So it will be mentioned. One other case, how can we understand that? If they are telling these are the current account balances of the partners. So if they give current account balances, it means the partner's capital is fixed. So what happens, why I'm insisting on this, you may get a question, or your numerical question will be like this, or the 1 mark question will be under fixed capital account, where the profit will be transferred to the partner. So where it will be transferred when it is fixed, always it will be transferred to partner's current account, because when it is fixed capital, the capital remains unchanged, because all the adjustments were done in the current account. Whatever they are receiving, giving, all those adjustment is done in the current account. So when the profit is transferred to the current account. So when it is fixed capital, it will be transferred to partner's current account. So when the current account balance is given, it means that the capital is fixed. Fluctuating means we will prepare only one, that is partner's capital account, or everything will be included in one account only. That's why it keeps fluctuates, it keeps changing year after year. Then, when nothing is mentioned in the question, we assume it as fluctuating capital. Then it will be transferred to partner's capital. Now, interest on capital, then means, as I mentioned earlier, no, when there is provision. So even partnership deed provides, the partners has to be provided interest on capital. How will we calculate interest on capital? See, this is a formula, very simple. How much they are investing? 1 lakh into rate. So in the partnership agreement, they are mentioning interest on capital will be provided 10% per annum. So capital into 10 by 100. That will be the interest on capital. That's how we will calculate interest on capital. Yes, it's quite simple. Then comes very important, drawings. See, drawings is, as I mentioned earlier, the amount withdrawn by the businessman from the business for his personal use. That is drawing. So drawings are always calculated on an average basis if the date of withdrawal is not given, which is for 6 months. Suppose in the question it is given, you are getting a question, A and B are partners, A withdraw 10,000, calculate interest on drawings at 10% per annum. But they didn't mention when the partner is withdrawing. So what will you do? You will calculate on an average basis. That is, how much he withdraw? 10,000 into what is the rate of drawings? 10%. So 10,000 into 10% into 6 by 12. That is average basis. When you will do that? When date of withdrawal is not given. They didn't mention anything about when they are withdrawing the amount. That is the first thing. Second, if the partner withdraw different amounts at different rates, then drawings are calculated by using a simple or product method. In case, if suppose a partner is withdrawing 10,000 on 10th of June, then 5,000 on 2nd of August, he keeps withdrawing 1,000 rupees at the end of October. So when he withdraws, if a partner withdraws different amounts at different rates, sorry, these dates actually, sorry, dates, then drawings are calculated by using simple or product method. It is calculated by simple or product method if he withdraw different amount at different dates. Next is, what if a partner withdraw fixed amount at fixed intervals? Then what will we do? Then the time period calculation will be followed. That is the next slide I will show you. That is, for example, I'm a partner, I'm withdrawing 2,000 beginning of every month. Every month I'm withdrawing 2,000, or I'm withdrawing 2,000 for 6 months, or I'm withdrawing 2,000 for every quarter, in the beginning of every quarter or in the middle of every quarter. So in that case, we will follow time period calculation. See, this is what time period calculation of drawings. If it is yearly, when the withdrawal is yearly, we will multiply the amount withdrawn into 12. If it is half yearly, then we will multiply the amount into 6. That is the total drawings. In quarterly, into 4. Then this will applicable. This will be done. See, for example, a partner withdraws 10,000 beginning of every month for a year. So calculate interest on drawings if the rate is 10% per annum. So total drawings is 10,000 into 12. As I said, because he is withdrawing beginning of every month for a year. So total drawings is 12,000. Interest on drawings is 12,000 into 10%. 10 by 100 into 6. This is what goes 6.5% per annum. sorry, 6.5 by 12. That is the time period calculation. So if a partner withdraws fixed amount at fixed interval, time period calculation will be followed. So these are the time period, the rate that is applicable when it is withdrawn. Beginning of every month, 6.5 by 12, middle of every month, at the end of every month. In case if it is half yearly, is withdrawn half yearly, then the rate is applied. Same time, when it is quarterly, this is so. It will be mentioned when you are getting one more question means an MCQ, it will be mentioned. He withdraw 10,000 at end of each quarter or with middle of every month for 6 months. It will be given very clearly. So that time period calculation will be applicable. So drawings is very important. When a date of withdrawal is not given, it will be calculated on an average basis. That is 6 by 12. Then when he withdraw different amount at different time, different dates, different, then will be calculated using simple or product method. That if he withdraw means say fixed amount at fixed intervals, then time period calculation of drawings will be followed. That is the end of the presentation. I have covered what all I could. So just started with accounts. What is the definition of accounting? We just discussed art of recording, classifying, and summarizing. Then we discussed the concepts, very important concept: business entity, money measurement, going concern, accounting period, a dual aspect. Very important is dual aspect. All the accounting is fully based on this concept only. Full disclosure concept, consistency, concept of conservatism. Then we discussed cash basis and accrual basis. Then we discussed about the partnership, provisions of partnership deed. In case absence of partnership deed according to Indian Partnership Act, what are the provisions that we discussed? Profit and loss should be equal, no interest on capital, drawings, loan interest on partners, loan at 6%, no remuneration, commission or salary. Characteristics. No, you don't get it as characteristics, because when you ask, you may get like, suppose, which of the following is not an advantage? Characteristics also, if you ask, you can give it as what you say. What are the characteristics? Means maintains a record of business transaction. That is one of the characteristics of accounting. Calculation of profit or loss is one of the characteristics. You may get which of the following is not a characteristic, which of the following is a characteristics, or which of the following are the characteristics 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, like that. So main characteristics to list out, it can be, as I said, maintenance of records of business transaction, calculation of profit or loss, providing information to the users, then providing information to the users, then a depiction of financial performance. These are the characteristics of accounting. Even you can say this as advantages of accounting too. And if you think about advantages, of course, there are a few limitations of accounting. What do you think the limitations of accounting? Starting with accounting records only financial transaction. Non-financial transactions are recorded. So accounting is incomplete information, as everything is not included. So that is one of the disadvantages of accounting. When manipulation is possible in accountancy, as human beings are preparing, they can make the changes according to or to show their point of view of business. So that is another disadvantage, is manipulation. This is what covered. I don't think more than that will be asked.